Hi, Franco. It's really good to see you again today.
Hello,
Um,
Lars.
I hope things are fine in Croatia.
Yes, things are almost perfect in Croatia. The temperature is rising. People are coming in very soon in masses, which is not the most pleasant part about it. But yeah, it's summertime and obviously among the best times to be in Croatia.
That's great. Well, thank you. And by the way, that also leads me to my first question of the day. You have been living and working there and have a lot of insight, and you have seen a big shift in the country. And so, having all this knowledge, and my question is, why do you think we need to make travel better?
Well, I don't think that this is completely or exclusively related to Croatia only. I would say that in general, well, let me put it like that. Personally, I don't think that we have to make travel better. I think it's only about focusing on the good and important stuff. So we should, when we work in the travel industry, and what we should do is to point out the relevance of sustainability in travel, in global sustainability. This concerns obviously environmental, economic, and social elements.
Mm.
And yeah, actually, the other day, my sister, she visited me in Croatia. She's living in Germany, in Berlin, and she wore a T-shirt which I really much liked. There was a text stamped on it, and it said, "Support your local planet." So when you take these three and a half words, support is something which is crucial in anything you do in life, but especially in the travel industry. Local, yes, definitely. Let's talk about local and the planet. Yeah, damn, let's save it. Let's try to save whatever is left of it and to keep it alive as long as we can. Because this is not a joke. We really have to fight for that. And speaking of all of that, or putting these three elements together, we come to the travelers themselves. We have to support and raise their awareness. The awareness is there, it is growing, luckily, but it can always be better. Anything can always be made better. And so we in the travel industry, we should look to help the travelers to get more awareness of the important things, and also to learn things which they weren't aware of yet, which we think are worth it. So one point here is definitely the authenticity. Is that the right word? Authenticity? Yeah, I guess so. And having said that, I think it's about blending into the local community with all good and bad it has to offer. And bad, okay, we don't necessarily want to be drawn into or dragged into too much bad stuff, but yeah, a local society also has some troubles or issues, so why not talk about that? So when you travel somewhere, more and more people understand that or they feel that they want to be part of that, become at least for a day, a week, or a little bit more part of the place where they stay, and not only be in an exclusive resort where they will not look at the surroundings.
Yeah.
So what we could do, and coming back to your initial question, why should we make travel better? Let's focus on the stuff which is important, and let's help the travelers to develop a better understanding, and in this way enhance their travel experience.
Yeah, agree. Love it. Thank you. And just because you already mentioned it, to be authentic, to be local, to be also true. I mean, everybody has still pictures because of all the marketing campaigns in the head. But what is so special about Croatia?
Well, whoever was in Croatia will know it is truly special. Some even might call it magic, and they tend to come back over and over again. Anybody who was not in Croatia might feel triggered to come and try and find out. And there's definitely a lot to find out. Croatia has an abundance of beauties to offer. Speaking of nature, culture, including amazing festivals, speaking of gastronomy, speaking of architecture, history, you name it. And the interesting thing is Croatia is really a small country. Speaking of heads of people, it's a bit less than 4 million inhabitants. So that's, compared to Germany, France, the UK, that's miniature. But even in this miniature country, there's such a lot of variety, diversity, that it really would make sense to come and experience Croatia through different locations and stations. In Istria, there's a wonderful hinterland. There are, of course, also beaches, no worries. But the wonderful hinterland is full of amazing winemakers. You can find truffles there, even the biggest ones in the world. They held the world record for a few years, until the Italians came with a bigger one. You can find a lot of local production and historical sites, really amazing. But then you might want to see something else. Make another couple of days on an island where you can find honeybees and honey production, where you can find the killer rakia, if you're into that, and other very specific, site-specific or location-specific experiences. And then you might want to move on further to the south, to the gorgeous medieval Croatian or even ancient Croatian cities on the coast, like Zadar, which is more than 3,000 years old. Šibenik, Split, Dubrovnik, all the amazing cities in between, and then again go to other islands, because there are more than 1,000 islands. So long story short, there is a lot to see and a lot to do in Croatia. So please go ahead planning and come over.
Try to combine different areas. I really like it. Well, as you know, that Singular Places is also a community. It's not just for people to be inspired on the traveler side, but we also want to inspire the community to, as you said, enjoy based on common values and uniqueness of each locations, and with all the problems that each location has, to move forward as a community. And that means sometimes you also want to have advice, or you want to reach out to somebody. Is there something that inspires you a lot, or that you would even tell other people of the community, hey, if you want to have a discussion about a certain subject, reach out to me, because that's one of my passions, because impact is a very wide word. Is there any special knowledge, insight, or impact that you have a special passion and knowledge for or about?
I wouldn't have something too exciting to offer, but then on the other hand, maybe it is exciting when you think of it. It's rather general, and it's about ourselves. I think whatever you do, especially the travel and hospitality industry, with which you can easily fall in love and never ever get out of it, which happened to me and to you as well, obviously. You have to do it with passion. You have to put yourself into it and give yourself completely, and something will come back. That is for sure. So whatever you do it with passion. Be curious. And one thing which was helpful for me in this industry, this beloved industry of ours, was to constantly try and change perspectives. So on one side, being the host, luckily in the meantime, I'm an ambassador as well for Singular Places, lovely thing. But also trying to look from the perspective of the travelers, also look from the perspective of the local community of stakeholders, and then kind of jumping around between these perspectives. You don't do it once a month. On the schedule, you try to put different hats on wherever you go and whatever you do. I have it in me. I don't know whether that is something I can recommend or somebody could learn if they don't feel it. But it's very good to see things from different sides.
I think that's a very honest and beautiful share, because I think that's like we are working in the travel industry, and I think life is a journey. Life itself is a journey. Like
Indeed.
every travel should be a journey, like you said. And I think the beauty of places isn't defined about perfection, but exactly the real beauty is about also the imperfect corners and edges each destination has to offer. And the same is in humans. Some people might have been, extremely good at one part of our industry, and then they got stuck there because they didn't do what you said: change perspective, challenge yourself. You should work in your zone of comfort and work on your strengths instead of worry only about your weaknesses. But I think you're sharing there and maybe being an inspiration to other people who are earlier on their journey. I think that's great. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Well,
I will.
I guess it's all about experiencing things,
Mm,
feeling things, and when the guests, the travelers, when we want to give them something some impression, something impressive, then we should be impressed ourselves. And then for me, it's then very naturally to look at the things from their perspective, and also to be the traveler ourselves. Well,
mm,
this is also very, very normal. We are traveling, and we have certain expectations. We have certain hopes regarding our next travel destination and our next trip. And then taking this knowledge and this feeling and trying to give it back to the travelers, which we move around the globe or around destinations, that might make sense.
I really like that. Thank you. Thank you for that.